A year ago, folks, Rob at Whiskey the Six started a little challenge of nominating his 10 whiskies to try before he died. I took part in that little challenge, but as I say, it was a year ago. I was pretty relatively new to whiskey. I've been looking forward to the last couple of weeks because I thought, yeah, would I recommend the same 10? What I'm going to do today, guys, I'm going to recommend the 10 now that I think you should try before you die. So, stay tuned. Well, hello there, folks. Welcome back to The Whiskey Friend with me, Alan. Yes, it's that time. It's been a year. I did 10 fantastic whiskies last year, so I'm really going to have my work cut out to beat the 10 this year. But what I'm going to do, guys, just before I crack on, if you're a returning subscriber, then thank you very much and welcome back. If you've so happened to pop in for the first time and whiskey's your thing, then you've landed right on the right channel. You may want to click that subscribe button down below. And don't forget to click the bell to be kept up to date whenever I'm putting out a new video or I'm releasing a new live stream. Just a friendly reminder from me today, guys, it's completely free and it doesn't cost you anything, and you're helping the channel massively on its way to the magical 3k. Okay, let's crack on with the whiskey. I have a little whiskey in my glass, guys. I'm going to take a wee sip of this. It's being looked after by my trusty new batch 2 coins. Yes, you know what to do. I'll pop a link into the description if you want to get a hold of some coins. Then give me a shout there, guys. Thank you. Cheers. Okay, let's crack on. Yeah, guys, a year later, 10 whiskies. The whiskies have changed. You'll be happy to know. Not all of them. There is a couple that have survived the cull. So what I'm going to do, guys, I'm just going to crack on with the first one. My first one last year was a Springbank 10. I'm sticking with Springbank, but it's not the Springbank 10 now. I'm popping up to the Springbank 12 cask strength. This is 57.1 ABV. So it's popped up from the Springbank 10 last year, which was 46. I think there's just so much more complexity going on with this. Yes, I know it comes out twice a year. There is little bits of batch variants, but they've all been excellent. There's slightly different, I think, the different cask maturations, and it's a Springbank. I had to have a Springbank in the list, and this would fulfill anybody's journey. That Springbank funk's there, the complexity's there. The value's there. I think I picked this up for about somewhere between £50 and £60, which is incredible. The only thing with it, guys, you would need to kind of get on early to get a hold of this. I think they're still easy to pick up, but you need to work at it a little bit. So that's the first one on the list today, guys, which is a Springbank 12 cask strength. The other one's moving over to a distillery that's very, very close to my heart. That's the Iron Distillery, which was the very, very first distillery that I ever visited. You notice this is the Bothy quarter cask. This is 55.7% ABV, so it's another high ABV. Predominantly bourbon casks, more bourbon influence in this one. Started cracking open my bourbon bottles, my Bothy bottles. Couldn't believe what I was missing. I'm all over it now. I've been drinking it steadily now for the last 6-7 months. Yes, they were in batches to begin with, but now I just think it's coming out now as a standard Bothy. The reason I've got the old one here is I didn't buy the new one. I will come round to buying it, but I've got a wee bit of OCD about my bottles. The bottles have changed, so I didn't want to line them up next to the thingy one. So this is where we are. But all the Bothys have been fantastic. It's quarter cask. It's loads of flavour. It's loads of bourbon cask influence. It's loads of vanilla. It's toffee. It's very, very spicy. Absolutely wonderful. And I would definitely have this on my shelf all the time. Moving on to the next one, guys. This is one that survived the cull. You won't be surprised to know that this, I hummed and dummed and thought about it. Will I take this off the list? But There's just no way I could take this off the list. Killcare in 12, value for money, it's absolutely fantastic. Anywhere between 35 and 45 pounds. If you can catch it at the lower end, that's absolutely fantastic. I actually thought if I took this off the list I wouldn't be able to complete this video because I'd be thinking about it all the time. Killcare in 12, absolutely fantastic. Core range at Killcare. Again, it's bourbon. It's bourbon influenced. It's very lemony, very limey, citrus, smoky. It's got all the bits and pieces, and just really for value of money. Everybody that I know that I've recommended this bottle to a few people. Lots of guys have asked me about it. I've never had any complaints. I've gifted it out. This, guys, is a bottle that must be on everybody's list to try before they die. Killcare in 12, super. 46% ABV, natural colour, all the things that we like, and it's just awesome from Killcare. I did toy about putting on the Killcare in 8 instead of the Killcare in 12, but I got all sweaty when I thought about it. So moving on, guys. I found a distillery this year which I've really beginning to enjoy, but look at this baby. Edredure 12 Caledonia. Yes, I have ordered a new bottle. It's a £60 bottle, guys. If you can pick up a wee bit cheaper than that, all great. But it's £60. I think it's a lot of money for a 12-year-old. But what I've found with this Edredure is it's 46%. It's natural colour. It's non-chill filtered. It's heading to me down as I'm finding more and more of this distillery. It's becoming more like a comparison with kind of Springbank for me. It's small. It's just doubled its capacity. It once was the smallest distillery in Scotland, but they've doubled the still capacity now, so Edredure's pumping it a wee bit more, so it's lost its title. It's now classed as the little gem of Scotland, so absolutely fantastic. But I've loved this whiskey. It has it's dirty, it's damp, it's wet dog, it's got its Edredure funk rather than its Springbank funk. It is pricey, but for me, I think the quality of the whiskey, if you're a beginner, this might be a bit tough for you. This might be something you might want to leave off until you're into your last 2 or 3 months before you pop off. But yeah, no, this will challenge anyone. This will challenge a beginner. It'll definitely challenge a beginner. It'll challenge an intermediate. It'll even challenge an experienced whiskey drinker. It's that good a whiskey. It's that complex. So it's absolutely fantastic. Again, 46% natural colour, non-chill filtered, just as we like it. So that's number 4. Okay, we're at the halfway kind of point. Let's head across the pond. Last year I popped in the ECBP. I've dropped it out this time. Only just popped out because I found this one this year. I found the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Barrel Proof. So again, it's a barrel proof whiskey. This is at a whopping 58.4% ABV. So it's an absolute monster. But it was coming in under £50. My ECBP now, I can't get it anywhere near that money now. This just kills it for money. But it's Wild Turkey. It's an absolute fantastic bourbon. Again, I've recommended it to a few whiskey folk and they love it. It's readily available here in the UK, so it's easy enough to get a hold of. So yes, I have bought a couple of backup bottles. But if you're starting to get into your bourbon, this is a challenging bourbon. So easy to drink at that ABV. You'd think it's so powerful. It takes water well, but I absolutely love it at the high ABV. So this is coming in as my number 5, which is my heading across the pond to the Wild Turkey Rare Breed Barrel Proof. So yeah, that's number 5. Moving on to number 6. What are we going now? Yeah, another distillery I found this year. I've really got into it. As you can probably see, I've got a rack of it behind me. It's the Glendronach, but again, it's the Glendronach cask strength. This is batch 3. Again, they come out in batches every year. This is batch 3. This one's coming in at 58.2. This is a wee bit more sherried compared to the other one, so there's little bits of batch variations in these, but they've all been fantastic. I must admit, this batch 3 has been my favourite. hence I've went out and bought some more. It's Billy Walker, it's Glendronach, it's absolutely it's powerful, it's sherried, it gives you that, you know, if you want to sit down on a Friday night after having a long week's work and you want to settle down with something that you can really get into, that's going to challenge you, that's going to head you into the weekend, this would be the one. So this would be number 6 on my list today. Glendronach, 10 cash strength. Any batch, guys, but this is batch 3. But if you can pick up any of the batches, pick them all. Little bits of variance, but you can check them out and you can see what's what. Peat. I've been slowly but surely getting into the peat this year. I've had some really nice peat. The one that's done it for me so far this year, which is one of the top ones, I've got 2 on the list here. So this is the first one of the 2, which is Booner. Booner Haben. I'm a big fan of Booner Haben. Love the stuff, love the whiskey. It's now become part of the core range. I bought it when it was an exclusive for Sweden only, but it's part of the core range now, which I'm really happy about. And I don't know if you can see these beautiful black bottles, but I'm kind of halfway down the bottle of this one already. Love it. It's peaty, it's beautiful, it's intensive, it's powerful, it's 46.3% ABV, natural colour, non-chill filtered, all the works. So that is number 7 on the list, which is and price wise I think it's coming in between £50 and £55, which again is not going to bust the bank, and that's number 7 on the list. So moving on to number 8, another one that survived from last year, and there was no way this was ever going to come off the list, and it's to my right here. You probably guess which one it is. Is it the 18? No, it's the 15. Glendronach 15. This was the whiskey that changed my life, so there was no way this was coming off the list, guys. Glad to say it was discontinued for a while. It's now back on par. You can pick it up maybe £60 to £65. 15-year-old Glendronach. Love this stuff. And this one, 46% ABV, natural colour, non-chill filtered, real sherry bomb. If you've not tried the 15, guys, get out there and find a bottle of the Glendronach 15. It should be pretty easy enough to get a hold of, but it's retained its spot on my top 10. Glendronach 15. Here we go again. Killcare. Just picked up this one. Killcare batch 3, heavily peated. So I'm back on the peat again, guys. I'm loving this stuff. This is coming in again, 59.7% ABV, natural colour, non-chill filtered. It's been a while. We've been waiting all summer for it. It should have been out maybe back early March, late March, maybe early April. It's just starting to hit the shelves now. We're coming into, where are we now? We're into September, late August, early September. It started hitting the shelves. And rave reviews. I've tried a few samples of it. I've not cracked this one open yet, so I'm looking forward to that over the next couple of weeks. But I've had lots of samples of it sent to me, so I have tried it. It's beautiful. Again, it seems to be coming out in batches. A little bit difference in the ABVs. I think this is 59.7. The last one was 60.9, so they've dropped it back a little bit. And the one before it again was 59.3. So yeah, they're around about that kind of 59-60%. So it's a big powerful dram, guys. And it's one that's going to help me continue this peat journey. I say I have made a wee bit of commitment to the channel, folks. I'm going to, when I get into 2021, I'm going to really do an extensive kind of run on peat. Hopefully some of you peat guys can come and see me and check me out. But yeah, that's number 9 on the list. Killcare, heavily peated. This was my dilemma for the 10th and last one, right? I think the rules were it couldn't be discontinued. If I remember right, it couldn't be discontinued, couldn't be over 25 years old. You've had to have tried it. I think they were the rules. But this one, the one I had, the big one I had on the list last year was the Glengoyne 25. I was tempted to put the Glengoyne 25 back on the list, but the problem is I've finished my bottle of Glendronach 25 and I haven't replaced it yet. I will replace it, but I haven't yet. So much whiskey to do, so much whiskey to try. So I have a couple of little samples kept back, but as I say, the bottle's been killed. So I made a choice. Would I stick with the 25 Glendronach and recommend that one, or would I do something different? And I think this time I have done something different. I might be breaking the rules a little bit because it is a discontinued, but it's old Pultney. If I was to put my hands on my heart, folks, these are probably the best two whiskies that I've had, that I've actually purchased as bottles. I've had lots of great samples, I've had lots of bits here sent, this bit sent, this bit sent. But bottle wise, these are probably the best two bottles that I've actually cracked open and drunk. This one's discontinued, but if you want it bad enough, and I have been chasing it and I have been picking them up, I've been paying a little bit over the odds. I think when this was around, it was probably a kind of £80–90 bottle of whiskey. It's now you're heading into the kind of couple of £100. Would I pay a couple of £100 for it? Yes, I would. Hopefully I could pick it up at auction a little bit less than that, but I will continue to, every time I see one of these and I've got a chance and I'll buy it, then I will pick one of these up. So the last one on my list today, guys, is the old Pultney 21. Absolutely fantastic. Just a real complex maritime sherried. It's salty. It's got that maritime salt. It's got that sea breeze. Beautiful sherry influence. Just a fantastic all-round whiskey, and as the bottles do go down, they just get better and better and better. What do you have in my glass? I'll have a wee last sip of this, but this is the Glendronach 10 cask strength. Absolutely wonderful. As you can see, it's 58.2. Very easy to drink, very easy to sip. Love it. So that's me, guys. I'm going to pass over the reins to you guys. Fire into the comments. If you've liked the video, don't forget to give me the thumbs up. If you've not subscribed yet, guys, what are you waiting for? Hit the button down below. Again, as I said earlier, it's free, it doesn't cost you nothing, and you're helping the channel. You can also catch us on Instagram, you can catch us on Twitter, you can catch us on Facebook. We're back on Patreon. I'd love you to go over and have a look at the Patreon page, check us out. Any support that comes our way just goes straight back into buying this stuff behind us. So other than that, that's me, guys. I'd love to hear what you've got to say. Does your list compare? Would any of these bottles be on your list? Is there any other bottles that should be on the list that I've not put on the list? So just let me know what your top 10 would be. And until the next time, I'll catch you all very soon. And I'm Alan. Cheers now. As I always say, the pleasure is in the sharing. Bye bye now.